Today we'll be taking a look at the WRML 07 LED stage light from EYSTE. Hey everybody, how's it going? Dale here, welcome to the channel. So my friends over at EYSTE, I think that's how you say it, sent me a very unique looking stage light, so I'm excited to be looking at this with you guys today. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing. So you get a manual. All right, let's take it out like this. It's packaged pretty nicely, so it is protected in transit. You get a power cable, a mounting bracket with some hardware, couple of remotes, and of course the actual stage light. And if you are interested in picking up one of these lovely moving head lights, I'll have a link in the description below. All right, here is a closer look at this EYSTE LED light. It is a moving head light. It's not an infinite spin, but it does spin quite a bit. It's about full 2 rotations. On the top here in the center, you can see that there are 4 LED bead diodes. And so while this whole top plate moves, it has these 6 tentacles, I almost want to call them, with LED beads as well, exactly the same as these center ones. And this center also rotates. It has 2 fixed lasers right here. That's why I think this is meant to be pointing upwards, not directly at your crowd. And that side, this is what each one looks like. And this is like how much these tentacles rotate, or arms, I don't know. So on the side as well, there's this 4-button LCD panel. And also on the side here is the model number and manufacturer name. And then on the back here, you have your power input with a standard IEC cable, which one is provided, as well as DMX input and output, and the cable is not provided. Here's a side look of that bead, pretty cool. Then on the bottom, there is a couple of mounting bracket hardware pieces. They kind of act as handles. And then you also have like some ventilation down here, as well as a laser warning. It came with a bracket, so this is where you would install this if you wanted to like fly this like overhead. As mentioned before, this is a moving head light technically, but this is not the same as like a beam or a spot. This is more like a multi-party effects. It has like these 10 beads. It's able to produce red, green, blue, and white, and of course color mix. And then these 2 lasers are red and green. So it does pan about as much as a normal moving headlight that I'm used to, about 540 degrees. And each of these arms, as they call it, they rotate 180. Yeah, I think this is meant to like sit on the ground or a surface or a totem and point up. And they say that these lasers are supposed to provide kind of a starry effect. So further telling me that this is meant to be sitting on a surface like this, shining upwards or pointing directly downwards. So the power consumption of this mover is 150 watts. Each of these beads is 10 watts. And the laser, they say, is 50 milliwatts. It does come standard with sound active mode, auto mode, as well as DMX mode, which is a 22 channel. And you can control a lot of these different parameters. It does come with one of these generic looking remote controls, but the manual has like pretty clear instructions on like how to operate it with the remote control. And looks like there are a ton of different options, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's plug this thing in and give it a shot. And with any type of multi-effects light that kind of projects lights in crazy patterns, it's best to use haze. I'm just using this old American DJ haze machine that I've had forever. Okay, there's no on and off switch, so turning this on is pretty simple. Simply plug it in. And then once you do that, you look at the screen. Like every moving head, it does like a reset sequence cycle. Looks like it's twitching, but this is perfectly normal. So it looks like by default it is on DMX mode, so you click this menu to switch it. So there's an auto mode, and you can see it's alive, it's working. And then you press this menu button again, and it's A1, and you can switch this number right here. So it has 2 numbers right here, and these different numbers are the different kinds of auto modes. So you can check out the manual and play it with them. This first number like determines like which type of mode is operating. And then this second number is like the speed or intensity of that. So for example, this is like a 1. So if I do it up, it'll go quicker all the way up to 9. So I think it said that this is the middle part. So it's 1, it's very slow. And then the faster I go, like the faster this middle part goes. So we'll click enter. And then if I want other components to operate, that's the strobe. If I don't want it to strobe at all, I have to get out of this menu. Then this just does the sides. Well, that's actually kind of a neat effect. And then 4 is like it's strobing. Then 5 is just the lasers. You can kind of see them. You can definitely see them up the ceiling. I need to turn off this haze machine. This is enough. And then A6, the laser is strobing. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. And then there's sound active mode, and then you can determine like how sensitive you want it, a value between 1 and 9. And of course, if you just want everything to go, just put it in auto mode, full auto mode, and it will just do a beautiful show using all of these different components. And this is probably what I'm gonna do to demo it. All right, what are my thoughts on the EYSTE WRM-L07 LED moving headlight? Well, this light is definitely pretty unique. I've never demoed a light like this before. It has some very interesting functionality. So it definitely is pretty darn powerful. For a multi-effects unit, it packs a punch. The lasers, they just don't do too much for me, but these LED beads are quite bright. I think to use a multi-effects unit like this, having some haze or a fog machine is almost a must. It does project light onto a surface, like if you see that behind me, but it is pretty minimal, and I think you're gonna get the most usage and mileage out of this with some haze. It really doesn't do too much for like outputting a lot of light onto like your venue, but if you're able to like have this high and not blocked by bodies, I think it creates a pretty cool stage effect. I can appreciate that they have a lot of like auto modes for like the different parts. Like it has an auto mode that just does the lasers, an auto mode that just does this middle part, it has an auto mode that just does these tentacly arms. And then they even have a separate auto mode for each of those zones, but strobing. And it also has a lot of functionality for DMX. I'm not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't use this effect at one of my DJ gigs for like weddings or corporate events. I don't see any reason why you couldn't use this for different types of events like private parties or school dances. And while these lasers may not like appear super bright, I mean, you can barely see it here. I would not shine this directly on my crowd for floor output. This is more of like creating an aerial effect like you can see here. Now, you don't want to shine those lasers in people's faces. Please don't do that. And this might be cool hanging from like the ceiling of the venue. And I also got to say that it's cool that they have a dedicated white LED diode in these beads. So you can do some pretty cool color mixing for those pastel colors. But yeah, overall, pretty unique light, pretty interesting. I had fun checking it out and reviewing it. Well, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? What do you think about this moving headlight? Let me know down below, and please smash like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.